Hi folks, thank you for checking out my video. Let me tell you what we're getting ready to do so you know if you're in the right place or not. I have an Injora 1/18th scale TRX4M truck crane kit installed and operating on a vehicle that is not a TRX4M. So I'm going to show you an idea that I used for mounting it on a flat surface when it's intended to be bolted to a TRX4 frame. I'm going to give you some dimensions of it so you know if it would fit your custom project very well or not. I'm going to show you the operation. I'm going to show you some adjustments that can be made to customize it a bit. And I am going to show you what the instruction sheet looks like. So what I've done for mounting is on each corner of the crane, there's a mounting point to go on a TRX4M to match a hole on a TRX4M. And I put an end of an adjustable link as a leg on each corner. Now you could probably use some kind of L bracket, or if you 3D print, you could probably make something. This is what I had available. It's what I used. I drilled through to the other side and put 4 screws in, and it's nice and sturdy. You could pick up the whole truck with it. It's not wobbly or anything. So the end, and that was actually pretty easy. Let's move on to the other things that I promised regarding this video. All right, let's do some measuring on this thing. So Injora doesn't give you a bunch of measurements. They don't need to. It's made for a specific vehicle, and it'll fit it. But if you're trying to fit it into something else, you might want to know if it's going to fit before you drop the money on it. So this edge up here, see if I can get these calipers down in here. The end with the servo, I don't know if you can, I've got this lined up pretty good. It looks to be about 38 millimeters wide, not including my homemade brackets. The other end, right around 48 millimeters. From the back of the servo to the front leg, this is a little tricky with one hand. You're looking about 68 millimeters. And from the back of the servo to the tip, and that number can change. I'll explain that in a minute. You're around 108 millimeters, give or take. And then from the mounting surface to the tip of this boom, now keep in mind I've got it on legs that are probably 4 millimeters high, roughly 8 millimeters. 80 millimeters. So that gives you an idea. You can do some measuring on your own project, and you'll know if you've got enough room or if it's too little or whatever. So we just went over the dimensions. Let me show you how the dimensions could change just a little bit. Of course, the width will not change, but right here are some additional holes. And this piece you could take these bolts out and move this piece down a bolt hole or two to shorten it. Now I have it on its longest setting because this thing is probably barely big enough for my project. It's big enough. It's certainly not too big. And then also the distance between this leg and this leg could change a little by loosening this bolt and moving this. This could swing back or out a little bit. Of course, that'll change the height of your boom, so you have to be careful there. I have it adjusted to make sure I clear my tailgate. Tow trucks probably don't really have tailgates, but so anyway, you could adjust this length just a little. Um, Other than that, it's pretty well set. At the angle I have it, I have this reel here that the rope runs over. Um, you could move it back and forth a little bit also to make sure it lines up with your spool correctly, depending on how you have everything adjusted. Okay, so as far as operating this, it's super simple. I've got my electronics outside the vehicle because this is an unfinished vehicle. So that's a perfect time to show that basically this servo wire, I've got it on channel 5 on my Dumbo RC controller. I could put it on number 6 also, but I've got it on number 5. And basically, I turn the knob one way and it goes out. And depending on how far I turn the knob, controls the speed. And I turn it the other way and it's back in. And you just find a middle spot on your knob for it to quit running. And I don't know if this is by design or by chance, but the dead spot in the middle where it doesn't run is a pretty good size. So you're not having to fidget back and forth to get it to quit. It's super easy. And it's smooth. I really like it. Okay, last piece of business. I promised to show you what the directions look like. This thing was pretty simple to put together. Actually, more simple than it looks because step one, it came out of the package with step one done. So whatever that means. It was a new sealed package. That's just how it came. There's some steps for putting the boom together and installing the servo onto it. Um, Pretty straightforward and simple. If you've put RC type parts together before, you won't have any troubles. The last step is installing it onto your TRX4M frame, which I cannot speak to because mine is not on a TRX4M, but that also looks pretty straightforward. So that is it for this video. I appreciate you for watching. And also, I'd like to mention if this truck looks interesting to you, there will be a link in the description of part 1 of I'm making a build series of that truck. The link will be in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.